I'm excited for this one. Do you want to bring your crowns?
They're I have my.
Oh my gosh, I feel like. Oh, I'm so excited.
I'll bring this one.
Let me tell you, when I was younger, I always wanted to do a pageant. Oh.
Yeah. For Miss Peruvian Parade.
That is so freaking sick.
It's a little dirty, but.
Wow.
Yes, here's my.
I am sitting with royalty. I love it.
Yay.
Okay, we can start now. You ready?
Yes.
Hi everyone, this is Rufaro and welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. I am here sitting with royalty, with the best. I love this girl so much, and yeah, just introduce yourself, please.
Hi everybody. My name is Celeste Leon, and we're here chatting about a little bit of the things that I do outside of my full-time job at KPMG as an auditor, and how I try to balance everything, my life, to be happy and follow my passions, and not just focus on my one job. So we're gonna share that.
Yeah, and I think this is so important because I love how the culture is shifting right now, especially for millennials and Gen Zs, that we don't have to be, of course we love our parents, to bits, and like our grandparents who were taught like, okay, just work, 9 to 5 or whatever time, and then retire, wait on that, and that's it, right? Like, for instance, my parents, like, I feel so bad now because I literally feel like they put their entire lives on hold, focusing on work and us, and like that's it, and like that's something we don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like, just looking at the things that you're doing, for instance, you are literally excelling in work and taking control of the things you enjoy doing, your passions, and still putting so much energy into that. So yeah, we're gonna dive right into that. So the first question I have is like, when when you started working, right, how did you have to put some of your like passions on the side to kind of like get into work? Because I know you do pageants, you write, you post videos, you like work out as well, you're low-key like an Instagram influencer, like did you have to kind of put that on hold?
Yeah, so when I first started work, that was definitely my priority, right? But it just became, so the beginning was like understanding what my work life was going to be like, and how to be able to know, okay, this time is my work time, and here's the leftover between my day, and how do I maximize that to do what makes me happy. And so it's like, okay, I have to make sure I leave my house, let's say, by 8 a.m. and I'm home by 6 p.m. Okay, that means that before that morning, I can do ABC, and at night, I could do ABC. So it was just like being proactive with that and kind of trying to plan it. And like in the mornings, I don't know, during busy season at KPMG, I would, when the late days would be a little bit longer, I would always make sure to work out in the morning. Why? Because the reality was that when I came home at night, I was just too tired and I wasn't gonna do it. I was just drained. So make sure that I have that energy in the morning to get that done. Okay, I have that done. And let me tell you, when I work out before work, it makes me feel so great. Like, truly, you may not be able to feel it like at the beginning, but in the long term, you will see yourself compared to other people who don't work out. You'll be able to see the difference. And then, like, at nighttime, I would focus on my writing, making sure I could do that a couple times a week, and going to events before the pandemic. Right? I'm a social person, so I love going to events and hang out with my friends. So I would make sure that if I could do that twice a week, maybe on the weekends as well, that would be great, and that makes me happy. So that would be like taken care of.
Yeah, and like what you're talking about working out, I would see your stories on Instagram in the morning. I'm just like, shoo, I don't know how this girl does it. Kudos to her. But hey, I mean, she's definitely seen the results. Like, because like with what she's saying, like she's seen the difference in terms of like how just the energy she would have, just her attitude throughout the day. So I think that's important. But I really want to dive into this lovely. I don't even know if I can touch it. Do I qualify to touch this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so this is. Okay, do you want to read it out?
Yeah, so this is Miss Peruvian Parade 2016. This is the first beauty pageant I was in. This is when I was like, now it's 2020, so I was like 19. Yeah, and if you want to know a little bit of my experience with it, this is when I was still in college, and I was still there like in my cocoon, like trying to figure out myself, trying to put myself out there, but you know, I was like trying to gain confidence. And when someone first invited me to this, I was like, what, me? Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've never done this before. So much to learn. Like, do I even have the confidence to like walk in front of people like that? But it's just about like that mindset that I always have is like, I haven't done that yet. You can always like just learn. And I have to say that doing this helped me actually so. I tried to take it seriously for myself, and it helped me so much with my confidence and putting myself out there, because I know a lot of people think this in terms of like, are you beautiful enough to do it and things like that. But the way I looked at it is, there's always people who are going to think you're beautiful and who are not. That just it's subjective, depends on the person. But for me, it was about being comfortable in who I am and presenting myself as I am and loving myself for it, even if people like it or not. And just like, and it's just an attitude, right? It helped me with my attitude of like, this is who I am. I can't, and I just have to make the best out of it and love it. And it really, really helped me so much with that.
Yeah, that's impressive. I don't know if I would do a pageant, but I want to just walk down a runway just once, maybe.
Yeah,
to see if I can do
She's
it.
beautiful. And you're beautifully like in so many ways. So.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, when I try this, I will like call you.
Yes,
so you can help me. Because literally before this, she was like helping me with my. Like, she was giving me like a makeup tutorial. Let me tell you, she just does everything. But yeah, in terms of like now with this, were you not afraid of like, oh, I still do pageants, but then I'm going into like corporate America. Do I have to, you know, there's the idea that people sometimes let go of the things they love because they want to fit into a certain box.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some of those ideas, like how did you, well, not ideas, but I guess questions, whatever, how did you overcome that, you know?
So that's been a huge thing for me. So I am someone who has lived in multiple countries and moved a lot around when I was a child. So that's something that I always come to whenever I would move somewhere new, even if it was in corporate America. That situation can happen in so many different ways that you experience, like, oh, I'm in this new place, I need to fit into the box. And early in my life, I used to do that. I used to go somewhere and be like, oh my God, I'm the different one. I need to fit in. Yeah. I need to let go of everything that makes me different so I can be more like everybody else. But I don't look at it that way. I think that my difference is my light. My difference is what I get to teach others. So I've learned to embrace that. And when so being in corporate America, me doing all these things could be weird or different to people. Like, people don't do this, but this is my life. Like, no one else is living it for me. I always think that I could die anytime, and as long as you're not doing anything bad, this is wonderful. And why should you stop yourself? And those who judge you are just, I think that they're judging themselves. No,
that is true. My dad always says, like, people always have something to say. If they're not, of course, if people are not hushing behind, you know, whispering about you behind your back, then you really aren't doing anything for them worth, you know, talking about. I think I love what you said. It's really about embracing that and continuing with that. So when you were interviewing for your job, did you highlight on some of these? Because, so for instance, yesterday I was speaking it was on Zoom, but some event. And so this one girl was asking me about should she talk about, the hobby she does? So she's into music and producing, and she didn't know if she should highlight on those aspects for this job that's different to that. Did you touch on that, and how important is it to do that if you did?
I think obviously you want to touch on whatever experience you have relating to the job that you're applying first, right? Because that's like so if you're applying for a job, you want it. However, I absolutely do think that you should put it on your resume and express that to them, that these are your passions, because at the end of the day, I feel like these things are what helps us balance our life and makes us happy.
Yeah.
So you should never hide that. On the other side, like, be proud of it, especially if you're like good at it and it makes you happy, because that means that you could share that with them. Another thing, for instance, I do is like I like to write poems. I started writing poems last year, and for the first few months, I was like definitely scared of like my coworkers seeing my poems. Like, they're gonna be like, oh, like, what is she doing? Like, who does she think she is? So, and I generally, like, definitely I still have those thoughts many times. However, what I did was I found the people who I cared most about their opinion of me, and I actually just sent them my poem. So instead for them to just randomly see it online and be like, oh my god, what is this? I took the initiative and I was like, hey, I know this is a little bit random, but I like to write poems sometimes. And I just sent it to this specific person. I remember that I was like a little bit scared, like, oh, was she gonna judge me? Mm-hmm. And I just put it out there. So now if she ever was to see it, she ever hears it, she knows, and I just was authentic to myself because it's something I like to do. And people can like it, people cannot, but I'm gonna keep doing it, so.
No, those are honestly genuine questions. I remember when I wrote my first book, I was really like, these people get to say, who does she think she is? And like, I love how you said you thought of the people who you care the most about. And I said, Rufaro, I have to think about the people I care about will have no problem with this. They will support me, right? So focus on that, and other people, like, if they like it, that's cool. If they don't, that's okay, because at the end of the day, I care about the people who care about me. Mm-hmm. And the response from so many people will always be what you probably didn't expect in a positive way. Mm-hmm. So I love that. But yeah, I want to ask what's so important about continuing with the passions that, you really love, and really investing in them and doing them kind of like, because the way you do your pageants, your poems, I've seen your poems on Instagram, they're really good. You need to have a book. I'm waiting on this book next year on all this poetry. Yay. I'll be there to support it. But yeah, like, because you put so much energy into this and then into your work as well, why do you think it's so important to not drop these things and like put them on the back seat,
Yeah, so I think a lot of times people think that being emotional is a bad thing, and they're like try to completely disassociate that part of them, especially in work. But I completely disagree with that, which is why whenever I'm emotional, instead of putting myself down for being that way, I try to funnel it into the different things I like to do. And by you just like suppressing that will make you unhappier in the long run. So for me, that's super important to me because it's who I am. I know that I'm emotional. I know that I'm deep. I know that I'm passionate about certain things. So if I don't address that, I will like get upset. I will start overthinking a lot. My negative self-talk goes through the roof because I'm not doing things that are authentic to me and make me happy. And when I'm like when I start having like, I know myself, you have to have that self-awareness to know, like, oh, my energy's going down and stuff like that.
Like, just what I'm picking up is, one, you are self-aware, which is so, so, so important. There are so many people who are not yet there, and that's okay because it's a journey, right? And I think, like what you were saying, you journal a lot. And, like, when a lot of people who I talk to who journal usually understand themselves because you write things about yourself, things you enjoy doing. And it's so important because, hey, at the end of the day, like, she was saying, you could die today, tomorrow. I mean, 2020 has been so hectic. It's just shown us that you really have to invest in the things you love doing. Yes, work, that's still a part of you. But you are more than just the job that you do. You're more than just being an accountant or an engineer. you're so many different things, and it's so important to to invest in those things. So
100%. And I am next month we'll be taking my last exam for my CPA.
Yes.
So then I'll finally be a CPA. So I'm super excited about that, which we can chat about that also in another video if you'd like.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited. So let's send our prayers, our positive energy and everything to her, because yeah, she's about to be a really bomb CPA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I need it. Yes. Can't wait.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do everything that needs to be done. Yeah.